So I just want to share with you about our newest project. It looked like we were about to have our vineyard destroyed in the heart of our property. We were, it looked like we were being knocked down by the enemies of Israel. And somehow we've come out even stronger. And now we have 50 sheep that were entirely sponsored by our fellowship and even by friends of our people in our fellowship that are beyond our fellowship. And I've learned a lot in the last month, taking them out to pasture and watching over them. This Shabbat morning, I woke up at 3:30 in the morning. I didn't mean to. It's just I usually wake up at like 4:35. I woke up 3:30. It's not normal. But I was like, all right, if I'm already awake, and I was just out with the sheep. In Shabbat, I don't ever use my phone. There's no computers. It's just out with the sheep, watching the sunrise for 3 hours. There is nothing more healing that I've experienced in my lifetime that was as healing. I've just learned so much just being with these docile, sweet animals and tending to them. But it became pretty clear that Ari and I cannot take care of a flock of 50 sheep alone. That's just not what we can do. There's a lot we can do that's out of our abilities. We can watch over them, but we need someone to help us. And out of nowhere, and when I say out of nowhere, I don't fully even know how this young woman arrived. But a young woman arrived at our farm. And it's amazing because the first woman to ever come to help tend sheep on the Arugot farm at the very beginning was a woman that you can see right here named Renee. And the girl literally looks a little bit like Renee. And it's like a Judean Renee. How could that be? And so this is my friend here. I would thank you for putting up that picture. He's a high-tech guy. He's on social media. He's pretty famous in Israel. His name is Hillel Fold. He came out to the farm and he says, this is his most favorite picture in the world. He's wearing like an Apple shirt in his fancy, car. And then all of a sudden he sees a Judean shepherdess. And he's like, what on earth is that? And I said, Hillel, it took 3,800 some odd years to make a Jewess like that. Look at her. That is a Jewish woman. It's unbelievable. I've just never seen anything like that. And so, all I want is for Emunah and Eden and my children, and hopefully Dvash very soon, just spend time with our shepherdess. Watch her ways. There's no smartphone. There's just simplicity. There's just purity. There's just working the land, tending the sheep. It's just unbelievable. And watching this, it's like Rachel from the Bible walking through the mountains. She like whistles to them and the sheep follow her through can we put up some of the pictures that I took? It's like watching her and our shepherdess with the sheep. It's just something, it's beautiful. It's so natural. And I'm like, what is manifesting before our eyes that all of a sudden we have a Judean shepherdess walking through the mountains with sheep following after her? It's like something out of a legend, the wonder of it all, that these sweet, holy, pure girls, because now we have two, Nechama brought a friend. We have these girls and these sheep that are the guardians of Israel, the protectors of Judea. Only God could do that. They're the ones that are protecting the land of Israel. Are you kidding me? What is that? It's just unbelievable. The other day, there was an encroachment because what's happening in Israel, if you're following, because the weakness of the Israeli government and the backing of this kind of new twist that's happening now all over the world, which is sort of turning a little bit against Israel. So immediately now we're being tested. We haven't been tested on our property in 3 years, 2 years at least. All of a sudden our vineyard was under attack, and all of a sudden people start kind of coming in, and all of a sudden now we have these sheep that are patrolling all around our property, protecting not only our farm but the two villages around us. And then these two brave women see the Arab shepherds coming. They hop on their machshir kesher, on their walkie-talkie, and then within a few minutes security comes to protect them. And somehow these shepherdesses are the most brave women I've ever met. And they are defenders of the land of Israel in every sense of the word. And so here we had this sheep. We didn't exactly know what we were going to do. And we offered our fellowship an opportunity to sponsor a land of Israel sheep to the land of Israel. What a beautiful idea. It's like an offering to the land. It's like a sheep to the temple. We can't do that yet, but a sheep to the land of Israel, we sure can. And then I said, for people that want to really feel connected, if you want, you could you can name the sheep. I think someone on the fellowship in the chat was like, hey, can we name our sheep? And I'm like, that's a funny idea. Sure, you can name your sheep. People loved that idea of naming their own sheep. So all of a sudden, people were sending me in WhatsApps and emails, and I started getting confused because there were so many answers. So we just sent out an email to make order out of it all. But I sent it to the other shepherdess, and she started making name tags. That's her right there on the ground, making the name tags. And that's pretty unbelievable. There's the name tags. Okay, so I just want to read you some of the names. Okay, some of the names in Hebrew are Hineni, Isaac, Shefa, Abundance, Micaiah, Ari, Blaze, Jackson, Q-Tip, Chavatzelet, which is Lily, Rex, Jewel. I mean, these are the funniest, cutest, best names ever. Our sheep now have names. I just love that idea that there's people that are in Missouri and there's people that are in Australia, and they have like a sheep that they've sponsored and named that we're tending to, and that they're tending to us. They're protecting us. It's just the coolest project I've ever been a part of. It's just the neatest thing. And so you should know, all of a sudden, out of what seemed to be a disaster, we have 2 shepherdesses now that are living on our farm, that are tending our sheep, that are defending the land of Israel. Our nameless sheep now have names. And that's really cute that we can call over Q-Tip now, and she has a name. And so there's some families that the parents wanted a deep name. They wanted to call the sheep Emunah, and the children wanted to call the sheep Jeffrey. And they still haven't figured out what they're going to call their sheep. But why I love that is over their Shabbat dinner, they're talking about what they should name their sheep in Israel. Should they name it Jeffrey, or should they name it Emunah, which is faith in Hebrew? Should it be faith, like a deep, meaningful name, or a funny name like Jeffrey? And instead of talking about Netflix or stupidity, they're talking about the Arugot farm. They're talking about Judea. They're talking about the land. Yes, like what a win. It's just such a win. And I just love everything about how this is undeveloping. So the enemies of Israel came to destroy our vineyard, and all they've done is brought more light into the world. And that's pretty marvelous.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Gimpel. A lot of people want to know exactly what the Land of Israel Fellowship is and what members receive when they join. So let me explain. The Land of Israel Fellowship is a global online community with hundreds of members from over 40 countries around the world. There are live sessions and gatherings that create a direct personal connection to the land of Israel and to lovers of Israel from around the world. There's no online gathering that I'm familiar with that is connected to the land of Israel, that unites and brings together such a diverse group of people, backgrounds, and nationalities. It feels like prophecy. It feels like something we need in these times, like a window in to a better future on the horizon. There's a divine unity we experience every week in our fellowship broadcast. We heard these amazing teachings from an authentic Hebrew and Israel perspective, and our jaws drop. Not only because they ring so true and are such a blessing, because they are so consistent with what we believe. These Sunday morning gatherings are nothing less than a house of prayer for all nations. Cindy Lowe, the United States of America. The Land of Israel Fellowship is an amazing resource for learning Torah, the Bible, and the prophets, unfiltered and uncensored, directly from the land of Israel. We've been studying Torah for almost 20 years, but we feel we are stepping into it more than ever and seeing new depth and dimensions to Scripture. We're encouraged more and more every week. Callan Ardell, USA. Members receive access to all the archives in the library of teachings on every portion of the Torah, the biblical feast, Hebrew prayer, prophecy, sessions on the ancient wisdom of the prophets of Israel to help us navigate through these turbulent times. These sessions are so rich. I re-listen to each, and truly each session is the best one yet. Tehillah is a tremendous asset, and the teachings Ari shares are so rich. I've read the Bible so many times, and I've known the things you are teaching. The Hebrew understanding is what Christians have missed for centuries. Sister Georgian from Germany. The Land of Israel Fellowship is truly unique because it's built upon personal relationships with the teachers of the fellowship, myself, Rabbi Ari Abramowitz, and Tehillah Gimpel. Every member has direct access to the staff 24/6 via email or direct WhatsApp to ask questions, to comment, to connect directly to all the teachers. And over the last years, we've connected to some of the most beautiful people on the planet. So if you want to find out more and join the Land of Israel Fellowship, you can click on the link below. And if you want to try it out for just a month, you can email fellowship@thelandofisrael.com and we'll hook you up. I hope to see you. Shalom from the mountains of Judea.